Hey YouTubers, welcome back to another Helmets of the World video. I'm Mike B, and today we're going to be taking a look at something that's really cool and I'm very fortunate to have in my collection. This is the Enhanced Combat Helmet, or ECH. This is the helmet that has been replacing the lightweight helmet used by the United States Marine Corps and United States Navy, and the Advanced Combat Helmet used by just about every branch. Now, I don't even know where to begin on this. This is such a sweet helmet. It's pretty new, and some people, I was looking online, compare this from like the military going from the Humvee to the MRAP as far as ballistic protection is concerned. So these started to be kind of tested and designed in around 2009. Several different companies received kind of the requirements, and they got some government money and tried to design a helmet. And their first run, they didn't succeed, so they had to go back to the drawing boards with fewer companies. And the requirements were basically that there needed to be a 35% improvement for ballistic protection over the Advanced Combat Helmet. So to do that, it's pretty difficult because they had been using Kevlar since the Pasget was introduced in the mid-1980s. And Kevlar simply cannot do that without adding more weight and layers, and it would just get to the point where you wouldn't be able to meet that requirement. So it's really cool. This helmet is actually not made out of Kevlar. It's made out of an ultra-high molecular weight polyethylene, which is a fancy word for a super frickin' heavy, strong plastic. Now, what's really interesting is I received this helmet a while back in a trade with a fellow helmet collector, Devin Kruger. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, he's got a small one. He loves helmets as much as I do, and you know, we kind of worked a deal out because he had one of these, and I had some stuff that he wanted. So this is size small, unfortunately, so it doesn't fit me, but I'm still going to have it in the collection. When you first look at this, it looks just like an ECH. I mean, the profile and everything. It's got what's called the apparently the tactical cut or something like that, where it doesn't have the visor on the front like the Pasget or the lightweight helmet, and it's just got kind of the more lower profile and more accessorizable look. You see these big screws on there, which is sort of reminiscent of the ACH, the 4-point chin strap system. But if you look at this, it's all kind of been improved a little bit. We're going to take this off the foam head really quick. And I love the chin strap. I think this is just, because this is an older helmet, and I'll show you in a second why it might be a little bit different than the ones now. It's got like a leather cup on the inside, and the chin strap's pretty thin, and it's made out of a heavier nylon than the ACH straps. It still retains the padding system, so you can just take the pads out of the old ACH or lightweight helmet and throw them in here, or just, you know, these are issued like this. You'll notice right away this is size small, and in comparison to a size small like ACH, this is considerably thicker. And you'd think that, you know, if this was made out of Kevlar, it'd weigh a lot more, but because it's made out of this newer material, it doesn't really weigh any more than an ACH would, which is pretty cool considering that apparently this thing can take a 7.62 by 39 millimeter round almost at point blank and stop it. There were some machines that were throwing some projectiles at this to simulate shrapnel and fragments and stuff, going at like really high speeds, and only about 50% of them made it through, which is actually considerably better because fragments and shrapnel and such have a very high velocity, and that's usually the threat. So yeah, you can stop an AK round. It's got a 35% overall ballistic protection improvement over the ACH, and yeah, I'm so happy to have this. So this is what has been issued since about 2013 when the United States Marine Corps started issuing this to their deployed troops. The Army started about 2014, it sounds like. I mean, it's just like any transition. It's going to take at least 10 years to get it fully, you know, switched over. There were still units using the Pasget when the ACH was the official helmet, so just kind of think about that. And you'll notice in here there's a trauma sensor, right? It looks like this little black thing. None of the other ones have these, except the ones that were to be ballistically tested. So this is actually one of the trials helmets from, you can see on the contract number on the bottom, 09D, which means 2009, so this is probably made in about 2008. So almost 10 years ago already, and for whatever reason this one didn't get shot up, but I'm still on the fence about shooting this one up. If I can acquire another ACH or ECH with in size large, I may actually put this through the test on a video, and that would be really cool for myself. But right now, this is the only one I have in my collection, and it's kind of a representative example. This one would have been the Army's prototype because it's got the H kind of harness instead of the X like the Navy and the Marine Corps. That's a quick way to tell that. And I found that the chin strap was actually a lot easier to install and uninstall. It's got a little bracket thing that, you know, it really doesn't matter, but it just from like a actual user standpoint, this is pretty simple. And the chin strap's really easy to use and adjust. And yeah, it's just awesome because it looks like an ACH, but it's thicker and it will actually protect against a lot more stuff. So, I mean, I think I've answered pretty much all of the things, the questions that I had. I don't know if you guys got any more. It's just a pretty sweet helmet all around. I'm pretty glad the military finally went with something and they finally figured out that, you know, head protection is very essential. And although the ACH did its job, as I've said in the other video and stuff, I had a buddy in Afghanistan who was wearing his and got hit in the helmet, and he's still alive because of it. And just a, you know, lucky thing, he went to had that on, or the helmet would have been, you know, steel, he would have been toast. But so Kevlar did have its purpose for many years, so I'm not knocking Kevlar at all. It's the best we have, but I believe this is the future. It's a very, very rigid design. As far as the material is concerned, it's very hard. I can't even at all move it or bend it. Like you can, Kevlar's got a little bit of a bend to it, but apparently this stuff is designed to carry weight. What does that sound? So it carry a heavy load, which means when you've got all of that momentum and the velocity, you know, with the object moving towards it, it acts as like it's carrying something, which if it doesn't make any sense, it didn't to me either, but when you think about it, it does. It's just a lot of weight that it can hold, so that's probably why it absorbs and won't allow something to go through it all the way. It's just a weird way this thing works, the molecular design, and there's a hell of a lot of science that went into developing this. Again, not saying that the Kevlar ones, you know, didn't have a lot of science, but this is just insane. And it's pretty cool, though. Like I said, it looks the same as all the helmets, but it's very deceiving because if somebody gets hit when they're wearing this, they're probably going to be able to walk away, which is really cool. It's nice that they're finally really understanding the value of headwear. So, yeah, you've still got the old nods, or what we call it, the nods mount. I don't know what the correct term is. It looks like TI on there. I wonder if that's titanium, because I know mine certainly broke if you drop it or something, or if it get hit by something. The old ones were like cast aluminum and they'd break, so I wonder if that's actually titanium. That's really weird, but I don't know. I can't confirm that or deny that. Don't have really a metallic testing device here, but yeah, it's really all I have to say about this helmet. I'm just so glad to have it. And if you got any questions, go ahead and go on my Facebook page. Just look up Mike B on Facebook, and it'll bring you to my YouTube page and ask about it on there. Other than that, I hope I covered really everything that you had a question on. You know, kind of how the testing was going on, when it started, and when it actually got fielded. It's just really interesting, because obviously helmets are my thing. I love helmets, and this is now currently what the United States military is looking to use. And this is all branches. The Marines were the first ones, and the Army, of course. And the Marines bought, I think, the first batch of these once they actually started testing them. So I think by like 2020 or something, they were hoping to outfit all the Marines and a good chunk of the Army with the enhanced combat helmet. So, yeah. All right. Well, I guess if you got any questions, go on the page and go ahead and ask. And if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You won't be sorry. I really appreciate everyone who's already subscribed to the channel, so thank you to all my subscribers and people who watch these videos, and bear with the kind of a lot of ums and whatever else in the videos, but I'm kind of doing this on the fly, so I'm not perfect. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Really happy to have this. We'll see you on the next one.